Call the member for Keppel.
Last month, the communities of Central Queensland faced the vast roar of the mighty Fitzroy and flooding. This was an occasion that brings our communities together, but just as importantly, it's an occasion when those angels in orange, those people who come together each and every week, training for emergencies, training to serve their communities, our amazing state emergency services personnel came to the fore. They served our communities in the lead up to, they served our communities during the flood, and then have been an intrinsic part of the recovery post-flood. Now, our local crews were on the ground working each and every day, yet our local crews were bolstered by Queenslanders who volunteered their time to come in Central Queensland's time of need. From Theodore, from Townsville, from Maryborough and Redlands, there were volunteers from across the state, and what was probably most impressive for these volunteers is that they themselves in their communities had experienced disasters or the threat of disasters in the weeks leading up to these dates. Now, we were very lucky in Central Queensland that the flooding was not as high as first predicted by BOM. Yet, to know that in our time of need, to know that when our community had the call, not only did we have our local volunteers from the SES, but we also had our friends from across the state come and help. And that's incredibly important. It was wonderful to have the Premier come and see and talk to our people on the ground. When he spoke to them with the thanks of our state, but just importantly with a message that the Crisafulli government has got their back. And that was followed up with a visit from the Minister for Disasters, who came and provided to our communities and spoke to about disaster management and how our government is engaging in a space where we know that they've been under-resourced, where we know that there was confusion as to whether they belonged with local government or state government, and that the Crisafulli government was stepping up. And I thank the Minister for Disaster Management for stepping up in that way. Thousands of Queenslanders each and every year give their time in the SES. They tarp roofs, they support our small businesses, and they serve our communities. Whether you are an SES member today or whether you're someone who is one of the thousands of Queenslanders who at some stage during your life have given your time to the SES, I offer my thanks for the service you give, knowing that it makes such a difference in our communities. Locally, from the Yeppoon SES group, on Australia Day, I had the absolute marvellous opportunity to acknowledge Chrissy. Now, Chrissy has given a lifetime of service with Yeppoon SES, and on that day, she didn't ask for our thanks, but she said, I do it because I love it, and I do it because of the amazing people I volunteer with. That is true Queensland spirit.